students, welcome back to the channel. This is Madhuri, your chemistry Fanta. Today I have come with another video lecture on the same chapter, that is some basic concepts of chemistry. Already we have completed 3 video lectures. This is going to be the 4th one. The link of those 3 video lectures is provided in the description. Please go through them. And today will be the 4th video lecture on the some basic concepts of chemistry, and in this video lecture we are going to discuss about the laws of chemical combination. We already know, students, that elements combine to form compounds. Now this combination does not take place as it likes. It has to follow certain laws. Among those laws, today we are going to learn about 5 basic laws. Those are law of conservation of mass, law of definite proportions, law of multiple proportions, Gay-Lussac's law of gaseous volume, and Avogadro's law. Students, knowing these laws is very important. If you find this video useful and if you understand the video, please do like, share and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to comment in the comment section about your opinion on the video. If you want any suggestions also, you can comment it in the comment box. Okay, now let's start our video. So students, coming to the first one, law of conservation of mass. This law of conservation of mass was proposed by Anthony Lavoisier in the year 1789. He performed different experimental studies for the combustion reactions. First, what did he do? He performed various experiments on combustion reactions. And after performing several experiments on combustion reactions, he came to the conclusion that all physical and chemical changes, there is no net change in the mass during the process. What did he conclude by performing all these experiments? In all physical and chemical changes, there is no net change in mass during the process. Okay, so when he carried out different combustion reactions, he came to the conclusion that whether a physical change takes place or a chemical change takes place, during the entire change, there is no change in the mass during the process. So based on this conclusion, he proposed the law of conservation of mass. Now let us see what is the statement of law of conservation of mass. According to Anthony Lavoisier, law of conservation of mass states that matter can neither be created nor destroyed. Very important, students. This is the basis for all the laws. Okay. So according to Anthony Lavoisier, law of conservation of mass states that matter can neither be created nor destroyed. It only changes from one form to another. This is the law of conservation of mass. Did you understand? So who proposed law of conservation of mass? Anthony Lavoisier. In which year did he propose? In 1789. What are the experiments he performed to propose this law? Combustion reactions. And after carrying out combustion reactions, what did he conclude? He concluded that in all physical and chemical changes, there is no net change in mass during the process. Based on this conclusion, he proposed law of conservation of mass. What is the statement? See, students, whenever you write the statement for any law, you should not change even a single word in the statement. Okay? So according to law of conservation of mass, matter can neither be created nor destroyed. Did you all understand? Now let's move on to the second law, that is law of definite proportions. Students, now coming to law of definite proportions. It is also called, sometimes also referred to as law of definite composition. Okay, law of definite proportions is also sometimes referred to as law of definite composition. So anyway, they can ask state law of definite proportions, or they might ask state law of definite composition. Okay, this law was proposed by a French chemist. This law was proposed by a French chemist whose name is Joseph Proust. Joseph Proust. To propose this law, he worked with 2 samples of cupric carbonate. Cupric carbonate. With what sample he worked to propose the law of definite proportions? He worked with cupric carbonate. Now this cupric carbonate consists of copper, carbon and oxygen. Okay, now he took 2 samples of cupric carbonate. One is natural sample and another one is synthetic sample. Synthetic sample means the sample which was prepared in the laboratory. In natural sample means the sample which is naturally obtained in the environment. And he tried to find out the percentage of copper, percentage of carbon and percentage of oxygen in cupric carbonate, which is naturally obtained and which is synthetically made by human. To his surprise, he observed that the percentage of copper in natural sample was 51.35% and in synthetic sample also it was 51.35%. Percentage of carbon in natural sample was 9.74 and in synthetic sample also it was 9.74. And percentage of oxygen in natural sample was 38.91 and in synthetic sample also it was 38.91. So based on this observation, what did he conclude? He concluded that irrespective of the source, means whether it is a natural sample or a synthetic sample, irrespective of the source, a given compound always contains same elements combined together in the same proportion in mass. Combined together in same proportion by mass. That is what he observed, isn't it? What did he observe? Whatever may be the source of the compound, it always contains same elements combined together in same proportion by mass. So based on this conclusion, he proposed the law of definite proportions. And what was the statement that he had given? A given compound always contains exactly the same proportion of elements by weight. See students, if you understand very easily, you can remember the statement. The statement has to be written as it is. You should not change because they were proposed by scientists, no? So you should not change the statement of any law. You should write as it is. If you understand it, it will be easy for you to remember. So what is the statement? A given compound always contains exactly the same proportion of elements by weight. Whatever may be the source, they contain the same elements by weight. Same elements present in same weight. Okay. Now let's move to the next law, that is law of multiple proportions. Coming to law of multiple proportions. This law was proposed by Dalton, scientist named Dalton, in the year 1803. Okay, he performed different experiments to state the law of multiple proportions. What did he do? He combined hydrogen with oxygen. Okay, now when this hydrogen and oxygen combine with each other, they form two types of compounds. First one is water and another one is hydrogen peroxide. Let us see. When hydrogen, 2 grams of hydrogen combines with 16 grams of oxygen, he got water whose weight is 18 grams. Similarly, when hydrogen of 2 grams combines with oxygen whose weight was 32 grams, okay, he got hydrogen peroxide. Instead of water, what did he get? He got hydrogen peroxide whose weight was 34 grams. Okay. What did he do? He combined hydrogen and oxygen in various proportions. When 2 grams of hydrogen combined with 16 grams of oxygen, he got 18 grams of water. But when the same 2 grams of hydrogen combined with 32 grams of oxygen, he got 34 grams of hydrogen peroxide. So, based on this experiment, what did he conclude? He concluded that mass of oxygen, that is 16 grams and 32 grams, mass of oxygen which combines with the fixed mass of hydrogen. Mass of hydrogen is fixed, isn't it? Here also it is 2 grams, here is also 2 grams. So, the mass of oxygen, when it combines with the fixed mass of hydrogen, it bears a simple ratio, that is 16:32. When you simplify it further, you will get 1:2. That means, if two elements combine to form more than one compound, then the masses of one of the elements that combines with the mass of the other element are in the ratio of whole numbers. Okay, they are not fractional, they are whole numbers. Let us try to understand it better. So, the statement proposed by him was, now coming to the statement. Statement is very important, I told you, students. Now coming to the statement of law of multiple proportions, it states that if two elements can combine to form more than one compound, the masses of the other element are in the ratio of small whole numbers. They are not integers, they are whole numbers. Okay, so if you get a bigger number, you should simplify it to the small whole numbers. What is the statement of law of multiple proportions? If two elements can combine to form more than one compound. Why? Because see, here also hydrogen and oxygen are combining. Here also hydrogen and oxygen are combining. But if you vary the amount of oxygen that you are combining, you are getting the different products. And this variation is fixed. That is the law of multiple proportions. If two elements can combine to form more than one compound, the masses of the other element are in the ratio of small whole numbers. So this is law of multiple proportions, and it was proposed by the scientist named Dalton in the year 1809. Okay, did you all understand? Now moving to the fourth law, that is Gay-Lussac's law of gaseous volumes. So students, now coming to the fourth law, that is Gay-Lussac's law of gaseous volumes. As the name suggests, this Gay-Lussac's law of gaseous volumes was proposed by the scientist Gay-Lussac in the year 1808. He performed an experiment to propose the law. What did he do? He combined 100 ml of hydrogen with 50 ml of oxygen. When he combined 100 ml of hydrogen with 50 ml of oxygen, he got 100 ml of water. Remember student, as this is a law of gaseous volumes, the combining elements are all in the gaseous state. So what did he observe? When hydrogen and oxygen combine in 2:1 ratio only, we get water. If this ratio of 2:1 is changed, he did not get water. He got some other products such as hydrogen peroxide and so on. So based on this observation, he proposed the Gay-Lussac's law of gaseous volume. According to Gay-Lussac's law of gaseous volume, when gases, remember, when gases combine or are produced in a chemical reaction, they do so in a simple ratio by volume. How do they do? They do in a simple ratio by volume. And for this combination to take place, there is a condition. What is that condition? All the gases should be at the same temperature and pressure. The gases should be present in the same temperature and pressure. This law is sometimes called law of definite proportions by volume. And this law was clearly explained by Avagadro in the year 1811. Now let us see Avogadro's law. As the name suggests, Avogadro's law was proposed by the scientist named Avagadro in the year 1811. This scientist made a clear distinction between atoms and molecules. To distinguish between atoms and molecules, he considered molecules to be polyatomic. And to propose this Avogadro's law, he also performed an experiment. The experiment was when he combined 2 volumes of hydrogen with 1 volume of oxygen, he got 2 volumes of water. Okay, now this is also fixed. Based on this experiment, he proposed the statement of Avogadro's law. According to him, when equal volumes of all gases at same temperature and pressure, remember students, same temperature and pressure should contain equal number of molecules. This was the law proposed by Avagadro. Did you understand all the 5 laws? If you understand the 5 laws, please do like, share and subscribe to the channel. Comment your doubts and comment your suggestions also. In the next class, we are going to learn about Dalton's atomic theory. So stay tuned to the channel. Thank you.